Yeah, it's your boy Nico back on the mic. Like a whole week ago, I made this cool idea for a video in my Google Doc. I'm gonna read it to you guys and tell me what you think. So my favorite series of all time is Summertime Rendering. But I don't hear much people talk about it. I love me a good mystery. Why do we love mysteries? Because it's a puzzle. One where the answer could be right in your face. Or you can have this crazy idea and it's half right. That's what I love about a good mystery. You just don't really know until you know. It also gives a good feeling of you can't wait to see what happens next chapter, and that's how you feel every single week. Because when you put the pieces together, even the most simple, subtlest thing can make sense and piece together this giant, crazy theory. I love seeing juicy reveals, flashbacks that enhance your experience, and nothing beats a good mystery. I remember opening the Manga Plus app and seeing Summertime Rendering. I was saying, yo, seems cool, I gotta read it. But at the time, they only had chapter 1, and then it goes up to chapter 9, then goes to 27. Because they were like, filling the backlog. However, the characters, the flashbacks, and the action scenes are one of the best I've ever seen from any mystery in recent memory. I'm gonna read to you the synopsis real quick, like Nestle. Shinpei returns back to his hometown to attend his sister and friend's funeral. Things seem to be going fine until the next day. We see something that shouldn't exist. The title and synopsis go hand in hand because it low-key hints what kind of story you're reading. When you think of summertime, I think of fun. Those long days, those short nights. But I always remember when it comes to summer, the thing always scares me most about summer is nighttime. Check out the trash on a summer night and tell me you're not scared, bro. It could be the simplest thing. It could be a squirrel, raccoon. You're scared because you just don't know what could happen. And any little noise, it creeps you out. And plus the cold temperature of night really makes it worse. Because if you think about it, that gives a big hint to the type of enemies our main character has to face. And the setting. We're on an island. It's a small town. So, things are simple but complex. Small towns have their benefits. Everyone knows each other. Word gets around fast. Every small town has its own little folklores, rumors, etc., etc. Right? Right. Sometimes what happens? Kids are outside a lot. Romance, campfires, ghost stories, stuff like that. Now, if it was springtime render, it would be different. I could just imagine mutants and stuff like that because, springtime, that's when all the bugs pop up early and they just start living life. You see bees everywhere. Typical stuff. All the animals are waking up for that long winter. People get spring break. Stuff like that. If it was autumn time render, it wouldn't flow the same way because autumn, them long nights, really cold for no reason. And there's a lot of crazy things that happen during autumn. Think of all your favorite stories, spooky stories. All of them would make a lot of sense happening in autumn, right? But hey, so I'm saying if it was a different season, it'd have to be written differently for it to work. To me, a summer night alone, by yourself, no flashlight, no friends, it's the scariest thing ever. And like I said, you can associate several types of monsters with the season. Or if you just live near a lake, a beach, at night, whoo! Anyways, I'm trying to do this video without spoiling the mystery because I really want you to read it. But it's hard because the fun of a mystery is you don't know what to expect. And if you know what happens going into it, you're not going to want to read it. But look, we're basically watching a folk tale become reality. A massive murder is unfolding under everyone's noses. We have tons of questions, but only a few answers. And all the answers are connected, but you don't really know how yet. I love the main antagonist of the series and how powers work in this series. So essentially, we got a big baddie. Well, literally it's a big baddie, but you wouldn't know this until later on. And what made it funny, the baddie was introduced from chapter 1, but we didn't know that at the time. There was signs, but it was like, okay, that's just awkward. That's kind of weird. You think about it, then you're like, wait, as you go on, everything starts to connect. You're like, wow, that was good foreshadowing. That's what I love about this series. Everything was foreshadowed in a way, and when it actually revealed, you're like, yo, that was clever. That makes more sense. So my theory was half right. Stuff like that. And to me, it feels inspired by horror video games because this boss is only scary because of their ability and how they took advantage of it. It's a small town where, everyone knows everybody. So if you're in a small town and rumor gets around, everyone can find out about it. If you're in a small town that has its own little folklores, everyone's gonna know about the folklore. And a lot of people say, oh, it sounds crazy, but it can't be true. But what if it was true? Think about that. So as a boss, you can't beat easily, but you have to beat, because if you don't, the world will end and all hope will be lost. And everything was set up perfectly. I cannot emphasize that enough. Because when you see this boss, you can be sitting there like, that can't be the boss, bro. You gotta be lying. This cannot be the main antagonist. And you'll be sitting there like, why did everyone team up with antagonists? And then over time, you'll see, hey, I hate this antagonist for what they did to the town, where they put the main character through, Junpei, and his squad. But you can feel pity because a lot of these people didn't help the boss out of the goodness of their heart. They did it because they felt like they had to, because fear, survival, that's why I think it fits so well. Everyone wants to survive, but it's sometimes not always a good time for a lot of people. It can mean you're in debt, you have too much free time, you lost the love of your life to your best friend, a random stranger. Anything can happen during the summertime. Anything. Someone moves away, changing of jobs, everything is possible. And once again, a lot of characters didn't make these choices willingly. They just felt like it was the best option. And that's what I like about them. A lot of these characters in the series don't claim to be angels or saints. They're all just like regular people. They just want to feel like they matter, feel wholesome, but it's hard because sometimes you can have good intentions, but then when you do, it looks bad on you because you don't have the full context. You can only judge a situation based on what you see, what you know about it. But all I'm trying to say is, our main character has an overpowered ability to reset after death, but he still is going to feel the pain of dying. He's still got to die for it to activate. However, this ability only works if he kills himself or someone kills him. But if he suffocates, doesn't activate. If he passes out, doesn't activate. And he can't pick and choose, okay, I'm gonna rewind and wake up all over again this morning exactly 3 a.m. when I woke up originally. That's not how it works. Or he can't plan the reset. Okay, I'll reset in my tub versus reset in my bed. Nope, that's not how it is. Sometimes you die in a game. You reset your latest checkpoints or the beginning of an area. So you play Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Code Vein. It's kind of like that, where you die, you reset at that area, but you have all that knowledge of what happens in the area. Okay, dangerous foe at the left. If I go right, pitfall. It's like that. So what I find very interesting about it, it's like the solution to ending everything is simple, but very hard. Because like I said, all you gotta do is kill the baddie, and there's a way to exploit the baddie like almost every video game has, but the trick is, the enemies are aware of their weakness. Sometimes they use it just to trap you, to bait you out. And a lot of times, the enemy may seem simple, but they can actually be capable of doing complex thoughts and decisions. Sometimes you think it's a whole fight where everything's on the line, but it's just a distraction. So the boss can make her move. And even though we know what the boss is capable of now, their end game, we still can't stop them because there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle and a lot of things to be sacrificed for things to play out. So all I'm trying to say is one of those mysteries where it's like a game of chess, 40 chess. There's a lot of moving pieces. You can take away a pawn, a knight, but it's not over yet. You can swear up and down you're a master of this game and still get washed because you can get baited into thinking in a certain way and think this is the only way to do something. Whole time, your opponent, they allowed you to think that way. They led you down that path. And now they're in your head and you can't really do much about it. So what I'm trying to say is the endgame story is crazy because once again, what they have to do is simple, but executing is going to be very tricky because no matter what they do, no matter how hours they get, we're still stuck in this weird spot where it's a race against time. If we win in time, the whole world is saved. But if we're even a moment late, there is no reset. It's over. So I'm really excited to read it. It doesn't even have 120 chapters yet. So by the time this video drops, it may be at 110 chapters, maybe 105. I want to know from you guys, based on what you heard, how do you feel about summertime rendering, aka summertime render? Do you want to read it? Does it sound interesting? Does it sound crazy? Let me know what's good in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Do your boy a favor and do this video. turn on the like button, subscribe for more content like this, share this video on your favorite social medias. If you want to back me financially, I got a Patreon. If you don't have a Patreon, it's all good. I got a coffee as well. Link will always be in the description box below. Or if you want to help the channel but you're broke, real simple. Share this video on your favorite social medias, tell your friends about the channel, and you're good to go. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, I could really say so much more, but my crew needs me.